Well, good evening. Welcome to another free webinar. We are starting our workforce development series. My name is Joanna Adebi. I am the president of Community Outreach Partners for Empowerment, a nonprofit out of Kansas City, Missouri. Um, we have a guest speaker here today, Ms. Debbie Johnson, and I want to briefly just thank her for taking up this opportunity to share with you some information about resume writing. That's our first session in this three-part series. Um, Debbie Johnson is the founder and CEO of Tenderlove CommunityCenter. She is an immigrant African American who experienced winter homelessness in the Indiana state shortly after arriving in the U.S. As a direct result of her experience, Debbie recognized that there are as many reasons for homelessness as there are individuals, and the need must be met by more than simply feeding and housing people. She brought like minded individuals together to incorporate Tenderlove Community Center as a nonprofit 501c3 organization with a mission to help homeless and low-income individuals achieve stable, self-supporting lives for themselves and their families. She possesses an associate degree in nursing and a bachelor's degree in science from her home country, Nigeria. She received another bachelor's degree in psychology and a master's degree in public health from Grand Canyon University, and she is currently in school for her doctorate in public health with a concentration in global health. Her goal is to enhance her ability to empower people around the globe. So that is a brief bio of Miss Johnson. Welcome, Miss Johnson. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Your bio definitely shows that you are one that you can speak to how to have a resume, a resume writing. So
Yeah, thank you so much. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are here, wherever you are. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for having me today. And a little bit about me is what you've heard, and I don't want to go over a little bit about me because it's like you've heard a lot about me. So today we are going to talk a little bit about resume writing. And while doing that, I am going to share my screen so that you can flow with me as we go about resume writing. So today's topic is how to write resume. And there are a lot of people that really did not know how to differentiate between resume writing and what the CV curriculum vitae is. They are completely different. So today, as you follow me, we are going to talk a little bit about how to write resume, what the employer want to see when you write resume, when you're looking for, for job. What are the core skills do you think the employer want to see? It's not about putting too many pages of resume together, but there are some key points, there are some keywords that your potential employer want to see in order to make the decision, to see whether you're capable or whether you are the right candidate for their position. And according to the researchers, we are going to talk about few points of what the employer want to see that might help you on the journey as you will be searching for job. The first thing the employer will like to see is your communication skills. There are lots of people that actually make mistakes when they are writing resume that relates to communication. How do you communicate with your colleagues? How do you communicate with your peers? And this includes communication at the interpersonal level, as well as other aspects, such as presentation skills. How do you present yourself? And without even looking at you, your resume should speak for you and resonate to show your potential employer that you can communicate effectively. It is one thing to have all the degrees that can show that you qualify to the position that you were asking or that you are applying for. And it is another thing to really show that your communication skills is listed in your resume, and with that the potential employer will understand that they are not making any mistakes in hiring you. So communication skills is really essential when you are writing your resume to make sure that you can convince your employer that you are the right candidate. Another thing that your potential employer will want to see when you are writing resume is teamwork. We get it. Some people just like to isolate themselves and actually do good jobs, but majority of employers do not, they don't want to see that. They want to see how you can work together with other staff, with other candidates, to make sure that you work together to achieve the goals of their companies. Employers are looking for the evidence on how well you will fit in with their company culture. Depending on the role, some jobs may require you to have stronger teamwork skills than others. So it depends, like maybe you are looking for supervisory work, or you no matter what the title, no matter what the level at which you are looking for job, teamwork is essential. Teamwork, it shows that in every situation you can adapt. In every situation you can, even when the situation is really tough, because it is possible to really, really find yourself in a situation that you just want to quit. But the potential employer, they want to see how well you can succeed within a team setting. So you have to have that in mind when you are writing your resume. And you have to show it, let your resume speak for you, and convince your potential employer that you are the right candidate and that you understand how essential teamwork is at any level that you are applying. So that is very, very important to have in mind. Another key word is leadership. I know when we hear leadership, people think that you have to be the supervisor, or you have to. Leadership is essential. They want to make sure you have leadership skills. You don't have to be a leader that will just say, do what I say. But you want to be a leader that will say, do what I do. A servant leader. So your potential leadership is, your potential employer want to see your leadership skill written in your resume. It is a key, it is really important for you to prove to your potential employers that your leadership skill is genuine, that you have that skill and you are willing, to utilize these skills to help the company grow. So it is important to have this keyword in mind. Your leadership skills is very important. And for you to be able to take responsibility for your actions, making sure that when you make mistakes, you are not letting that weigh you down, because you can make mistakes, but you are not doing yourself good if you make mistakes and you stay there. You want to make mistakes, learn from your mistakes, and be willing to move forward and be willing to learn. For example, at my my facility with my staff, of course, My leadership, I let them know, I even joked with them, there is no boss here. We are all here to learn from one another. There is no Mr. or Mrs. Know It All. So as a leader, you must be willing to learn. And when you are writing your resume, you want to show your potential employers that you have that skills and you are willing to use it to help the company in order for the company to grow. Of course, every company aspires to grow. So don't forget, when you are writing your resume, you want to remember that important keyword that is called leadership. Another thing that is very important for you to think about when writing your resume is problem solving. How can you demonstrate to your potential employer that you have that skill and you are willing to solve problem at any given point? Before they call you for interview, your potential employer wants to see that what you have done in the past and what you are willing to do. How can you be the solution to the problems of that company? How can you solve problems, among your peer employees? How can you be the star that will shine and be able to solve any problems that might arise, whether the one that you are expecting or whether the one that really show up unexpectedly? Your potential employer want to make sure that you have that skills. You don't have to be the one that will compile to the problems that the company is already having. They want to hire you as a problem solver. They want to make sure that they can rely on you to solve their problems. So when you are writing your resume, it is important to have that keyword that says problem solving. Another thing you want to think about when writing your resume is how motivating are you? Self-motivation. It is so important. This is related to motivational training, but I'm just going to gear towards the resume building, and we will not go towards motivational training today. Maybe that will be in the later presentation. So how quickly do you quit? I like that. Do you just want to quit because maybe your employer did not do what you were expecting your employer to do to favor you? Or do you think your coworker, did something to you, and because of that, you just want to quit your job because you believe that you can find another job somewhere easily? So in order to really write a very good resume, you want to convince your employer that you are not a quitter. You want to convince your employer that you are willing to face any challenges. There is something I like to tell people, most especially my staff. I let them see themselves as the way they will see. I let them see me as their director, the way they will see themselves. How do you face the challenge, known or unknown? So employers are looking for candidates that can face challenges, that can demonstrate the determinations in every aspect of whatever it could be, that they are willing to face challenges. They are willing to face the obstacles that might stand on the way. So when writing your resume, you have to think about this. You have to let your resume sell you. You want to have a resume that will make the employer say, even with or without your education, with or without whatever education you might have, if you don't have all these keywords, they might not hire you. And because you want the employer to even learn more about you before the face-to-face interview, you have to remember self-motivation. It is very, very important to have it listed on your resume and make sure that you are ready. It is one thing to just have that listed. Another thing is if eventually the employer hire you based on all what you listed on your resume, you don't want to let yourself down. You don't want to kill your self-esteem. You want to prove to the employer the first, second week of your new job, you want to make sure everything you listed really resonates with you. And of course, self-motivation is what I really like the most, because it is possible to have employer that, oh, maybe your coworker that don't like you. If coworker doesn't like you, are you gonna quit because your coworker did not like you? No, you want to tell yourself you can do this. The road may be rough. It may be really tough. You want to be the one that will keep on going regardless of what it is. The road to success is not always smooth, but you want to guard yourself and make sure that self-motivation, it is important. So when writing your resume, you want to make sure you remember all these key points and work towards it. Sell yourself to your potential employer. Let them be the one calling you. Let them be the one telling you, I want to hire you, based on what your resume says. And now that you know what skills are needed, where do you place them? And how do you incorporate these skills? Like I've been said, earlier, the way I articulated, you want to include the skills that highlight sections near the top of your resume. Like the picture here, I believe it is a little, you can see a little bit of the picture. You want to include that skills, highlight them near the top of your resume. Let that be the first thing that the employer will see. Let them see, let the potential employer know that you have all these skills, not just to put all the, where you have worked in the past, and now later put the important, sections to the back of the pages. They might not look at it. So you want to make sure that you have all these listed where they're going to see, like right away as they look at your resume. You want to convince your potential employer that you are the right candidate. Another good way to include these skills in your resume is to show them in practice. And that is exactly what I said earlier. Include them naturally in sections such as your professional profile, on your team, on your work experience, section. The section that is going to catch the attention of your potential employer. That is where you need to highlight all these skills. It's not about having too many pages. I've worked here, I've done this, I've done that. No, you want to put all those keywords to let the employer see. Let the employer see you in your resume. Let the employer be the one calling you and telling you they're willing to even pay more than whatever or whoever might have, wanted to hire you. Let the employer be the one negotiating with you and be the one that want to hire you rather than you looking for them. Let them look for you. So as earlier articulated, always remember the skills, which I'm going to quickly go through again one more time, which says the communication. Communication skills, it is very important. when you are writing your resume. Put it there. Convince your employer that you have what it takes and you can communicate effectively. The next one is teamwork. If you are not willing to work together, you want to isolate yourself, they might not hire you. So put that skills there. Convince your employer that you have that skills and you are willing to work together to make sure that the company achieve their goals. Another thing to quickly talk about the leadership, your leadership skills. You want to make sure that you put it in your resume that you are a very good leader and you are willing to lead by example, not to tell them what to do when you are not doing the right thing. So you want to include that when you are writing your resume. And don't forget the problem solving. You want to make sure you put that down. Let your potential employer know that you can think, you can solve problems, you can help to make sure that you are helping the company to grow and you are coming to help them to solve whatever problems that they might be facing. And last but not the least, self-motivation. You don't quit, no matter what it is. The road may be rough. You don't want to quit. And you now know where to place all these skills, how to highlight all these skills to make sure your potential employer can see it right away before they even see you. Let them see everything that they are looking for. And that they will be convinced and be like, this is the right person that we need to hire. So at this point, if there is any questions, I'm glad to answer your questions. If you have any questions, you can put your questions below in the comment and we will definitely get back to you. Or you can ask your question live and we will be willing, to answer your questions and learn from you, because we're actually here to learn. So, learn is always good. As a leader, you also want to learn. And at this point, I'm going to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to listen to this presentation about how to effectively write resume. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ms. Johnson. That was very power packed. Even in that, few slides, there was a lot in there. And I can attest as being one in my full-time job, my day job, hiring people. Those are definitely some good nuggets to put in the resume. Our next session next month in the workforce development series is going to be interviewing skills, and a lot of these nuggets that you share are also can translate to at the time of the interview, because of course you want to make sure that what you've put in your resume you're ready to speak to when you're being interviewed. So are those that are on the that are here in the Zoom call with us, do you have any questions, or you can put them in the chat? And then those who are additionally, if you are watching this once it's posted on Facebook, feel free to put your questions in the Facebook comments and we will address them as well. While we're waiting for any questions or comments, Ms. Johnson, if you could put your contact information in the chat, and I'll do so as well. If you are looking for assistance with your resume, Community Outreach Partners for Empowerment, we could help review your resume and potentially rewrite for a small fee. You can contact us, and I'll put the contact information in here. Our email address is copekcmo@gmail.com. And I also will put our, and while I'm putting our information here, Ms. Johnson, would you like to share some more about your organization and the services that, how you're serving the New Mexico community, Albuquerque, New Mexico community?
thank you again, and thank you for inviting me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to do what I like to do best. My name is Debbie Johnson, and the founder and CEO of Tenderlove CommunityCenter. And it is the mission of Tenderlove is to empower homeless and low-income people through job trainings and life skills. And we also have housing. We have different kinds of housing, including recovery housing, transitional housing for homeless women and children under 15 years. And we also have a rapid rehousing. So all these I started because I was once homeless person, and coming from a different country and found myself on the street in the United States was a really tough situation. And I decided to do something to put an end, to homelessness for some people, especially women. So having the opportunity to be one of the puzzles that we end homelessness is really important and crucial for me. So that is what we do. If you know anybody who needs help, I always let people know that I personally do not see homeless at intake. I don't call my potential clients homeless. I see them as potential leaders. I see them as people that need a little bit of help, a little bit of support in order to get to where they really need to go to. I don't believe in putting bandage, on people's wounds. I believe in helping them to heal the wounds, not just to put bandage on their wounds. So that is a little bit about me, what I do, and that is what I love to do, to help other people, to empower other people. And that is why the Community Outreach Partners for Empowerment is really dear to me, because together we can empower the nations. Thank you.
Well, thank you once again, Ms. Johnson, and I'm so glad to be able to partner with you and reaching the community. Again, that's what our organization is, Community Outreach Partners for Empowerment. Our vision is to empower people to reach their vision and our goals, and we aim to bridge the gap between someone's vision and the reality through referrals, through consulting services. We also have done scholarships, adult learning and career development, and informative workshops and seminars, such as what we are doing this afternoon. So we hope that this has been beneficial to you. Again, please review the video, look at the slides, and and put it against your own resume if you currently have one. If you haven't updated one in a while, but you're in the market of looking for, changing career paths or looking for a new job, then we definitely encourage you to review this material, review the slides, review this recording. And if you need help with your resume, then you can contact us, and for a small fee, we will help you try to get to where you want to go. I want to make another announcement that our next session in this series, the workforce development, will be on interviewing skills. So it will be next month, on next Friday, April 26th, around this time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Please stay tuned with us on our Facebook, Community Outreach Partners for Empowerment, for any schedule changes. You can also check out our website at copekcmo.org. We also have a estate planning series that one of our speakers in that series, Shalonda Ajabola, who's also part of Community Outreach Partners for Empowerment, started a estate planning series earlier this month. And the next session in that series will be on April 20th, Saturday, April 20th. And then we also, our third workshop series is organizational development. The first session will be next Friday, March 30th next Saturday, March 30th, and it will be at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. So again, stay in touch with us. We're on Facebook, COPE KCMO, Community Outreach Partners for Empowerment. You can also check out Ms. Johnson's organization, Tenderlove CommunityCenter. And if you are interested in donating to either organization, please check out the contact information in the chat, And we want to thank those that joined the Zoom call this evening. Thank you for joining us. And if you need anything, please contact us. All right. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great evening.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.